Hey guys, so today I want to talk about something called cloud computing. Yeah, I know if you've never heard that before, if you're unfamiliar with the term, you might think, oh wow, what does cloud computing mean? Are we building computers in the sky? Are we talking about something that has to do with the weather? But no, not really. So cloud computing is basically just the delivery of computing service. Now this could be databases, network, servers. So delivering this computing service on a pay as you go basis. So let me paint this picture. Imagine an IT company, right? So you go to their server room and you see those big servers with the blinking lights and everything. So they are running their servers and their infrastructure on site. Now, in cloud computing, we have things you call cloud service providers. And these cloud service providers, they have thousands of these computing resources, the servers, the database, whatever you want, they have it. And they have so many that they can afford to power their company and thousands of other companies if they choose to. So they rent out these things to other people. And that is basically what cloud computing is, renting computing service from cloud service providers. So if your site is not being visited or whatever you spawn up is not being used, you're not getting charged for it. You only get charged for things you use. Now there are various cloud service providers, but my favorite has to be AWS, Amazon Web Services, because that's basically what I use for my day-to-day task. So today I want to show you how to create an Ubuntu server using the AWS. So Ubuntu is one of the distros of Linux, and that's mainly what I use when I'm doing my projects and stuff. So I'll be showing you how to create an Ubuntu server using the AWS platform. So I'm just going to sign into my account real quick. Now, one thing I love about AWS before I get into this is the fact that signing up obviously is free. And then if you're a new user, you have a free tier account. Now this, if you use your free tier account within the limits stipulated by this free tier, you don't get charged for anything you do. So this gives you like a year to look at all the resources, all the things they offer and decide like, if it's the one for you or not. You also have other cloud service providers like Azure, by Microsoft, Google Cloud, and some others. Okay, so I'm signed into my AWS console. Now, I want to create my Ubuntu server. This is where I'm going to. This is what I'm looking for, Elastic Computes. But I don't want to go through recently visited. I want to show you like how to do this, even if you're just creating your account newly. So you go to services, click on services, click on EC2. These are your virtual servers in the cloud. And that doesn't mean it's floating on the clouds. Like these servers actually have a physical location, but you're renting it via the internet, so cloud. Okay, so you want to click on launch instance. So I'm going to name this test for the purpose of this tutorial. Now the AMI, this is where you choose your operating system images, basically the operating system image you want your server to be spawned from. So we have Amazon Linux, we have Mac OS, we have Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. There are a lot of them. You also have a marketplace where you could buy or still have like some free AMIs. Now most of these AMIs come pre-installed with certain things. Some have like MariaDB, some have other databases and other stuff pre-installed in them. But I'm just going to stick with Ubuntu from the quick start menu. I usually like to use the 22.04, so that's what I'm going to choose. Okay, so next Yeah, instance type. I'll leave this at T2 micro. I don't really need much computing power for what I'm about to do, and it's within my free tier limit. I do not want to get charged for this. So the key pair, this is where you create the key pair that lets you successfully SSH into your server. So without a key pair, you can't SSH into your server. I have some key pairs created, but I want to create a new one just to show you. Key pair name, let's say test key. Oh yeah, I forgot I've created this already. So the key pair name has to be unique for your account. If you've created a key pair with similar name before, you can't use it again. So let's say test2. I would leave this as it is. I'm going to use my Windows PowerShell to SSH into this, so I'll leave it as .pem. If I was using Putty or some other software, I'll probably use .ppk. Then click on create pair, create key pair. Now, security group. The security group is pretty much like, okay, yeah, the name explains it all. It's the security of your server. So this decides who you let in, who you let access certain things, where you let people access things from. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to leave my SSH traffic from anywhere. I'm not going to turn on HTTPS or HTTP. I just need to SSH. And SSH means secure shell is basically a way for computers to communicate. So it's a way for my device, my physical device that I'm using right now, to communicate with the server online. Okay, best practice is usually to make this like from your IP, or if you have a specific IP you want to access it. Let's say you have a work IP and they told you, okay, create a server for this particular IP, so only the person running using that system can access this. Then you can use custom and set the IP you want. But if you're the one who's going to access the server, you just set it on my IP. But I usually just like anywhere because I'm not doing anything that serious, and I'll shut this down immediately I'm done. I would leave my storage at 8, more than enough. Yeah, and then you click on launch instance and just wait while your instance gets created. Okay, so my instance is being created. I'm just going to go to instances to see. It's building the resources in the background, so it's not just going to pop up immediately. It's going to pen for a while and then initialize. And then finally, okay, it's running. Status check. This needs to show 2/2. It needs to pass all the status check before you can actually SSH into it. If you click on this box, you can see the details for the instance you created. You can get your public IP address, your private IP address, and other informations you need are all here. Okay, so let's just wait for the status check. Status check initializing. Still waiting. Okay, so 2/2 checks passed. Now we can use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on I'm going to select this, then I'll click on connect. I like going through this means because it's easier to just copy what I need. SSH clients, this example thing here, you click on this to copy the command. So I saved my SSH key pair in my download folder. Now you have to go to the folder where you saved it. That's this. Which one did I use now? Test2. You have to open up your terminal in this particular folder that has your key pair. Okay, so this is open. So I paste the command I copied and enter. Okay, you type yes, and you're in. Let me just tidy this up a bit. Okay, so I am in my created Ubuntu server. Uh Let me make a directory. Testland. ls testland. Okay, so this works. Change directory to testland. Um and also when in testland, I want to create a file called hello.txt. Okay, so I'm in Testland now. And if I list the things in Testland, I will see the hello.txt file that I created. Remove hello.txt and it's gone. Go back to the directory. Testland is still here. Remove Testland. And that's that. So I have cleaned up what I used. Okay, so now I'm done with this. I'm just going to terminate my resources. You don't want to leave your resources running if you're not using it for anything important. If it's like a business account and it's being used, then fine, leave it running. But if you're just using it to test some stuff, when you're done, make sure you immediately terminate your instance. Don't stop, just terminate. That way, everything will be deleted, including the EBS volumes that were attached or other stuff that got attached. If you stop it, you stop it from running, but some things in the background will still be incurring costs. So it's best to just terminate. Okay, it has been successfully terminated. Let's refresh and see. It's shutting down. So just like when it was being spun, it had to create a whole lot of services in the background. And then now it's shutting down. It has to delete all those services one by one also in the background. And when it's done deleting everything, this would disappear from this place and there will be no instance here. So basically that's it. So you can do so much more with your AWS account. You have containers, databases, IoTs, machine learning. Like there's so much you can do with it, but I usually use it to create servers and test out some stuff. I also use it to run some of my websites. I use it for my routing. Yeah, so the possibilities are endless. Whatever you can do with your service, with your servers on premise, you can do on the cloud. So yeah, that's it for today. Um, see you guys next time. Bye bye.